Back, I don't know what's up with that. So now I gotta go re-get this whole thing again. Put this thing back up. Salam alaikum, bro.
Alaikum salam.
All right, so I don't know where we got cut off at, but it's a guy, a brother. I don't, he's a brother. I don't know of what sort, but out of Philadelphia. 1990, he was accused of a homicide, and in 1994, he was convicted of this homicide. Okay, around I want to say 2019, he was exonerated and awarded $4.1 million. I'm gonna read some of the information, but I think I got all the gist of the information in my head.
Right.
The Innocence Project helped him. They discovered. I remember this. They discovered a bunch of witness testimony that had not been handed over, like Brady, that alluded to and pointed to the fact other suspects were involved or have been, suspected. And he got the $1.4 million. As of January 2023, he was accused of another homicide, and they alleged that it was over a $1,200 cocaine debt.
Right.
And he's pleaded guilty to this matter. They have a charge in Philadelphia. My fault. They have a charge in Pennsylvania called third-degree murder. I ain't look up all the specifics, but I would assume that it's a lesser crime than second-degree murder where we from. Right. But that was one of the topics that we was talking about, and I just was wondering, he pleaded guilty, so I guess we could talk about the matter. But I mean, I don't know if I should use the word ironic. I mean, you tell me what you think. You go to jail, and we're gonna just go on what we know. Like, I don't know what the real involvement in the first case was, but he went to prison for 24 years for a crime he was exonerated of. Those are facts. You dig what I'm saying? But now he allegedly goes back to prison for a $1,200 debt. Can you make any sense of that for me? Even if we just talk about it.
I make a lot of sense of that. That's a perfect question for me for your show because one, it's in alignment with the content that you're used to speaking about on the show, and then it allows me to kind of like give mine. Now, all I want to speak about is business. If somebody a rat, what's the business of snitching? You know what I'm saying? If somebody's an idiot, what's the business of a person being an idiot? Because everything in America has a revenue stream attached to it. And so for me with this situation is, I mean, first you got to look at the psychological damage done to a person being incarcerated for murder. In the state of Pennsylvania, life is life. And they have the most juvenile lifers of any state in America. And so, those guys, unlike in DC, where we might get life and do 20 years, make parole, get back on the pill. It was guys, and it is guys from Philly, in particular of Pennsylvania, that have been in for 40, 50 years.
On state case.
So you have to look at what is the story behind this guy being in prison for something he didn't do, the trauma attached with that. We don't know if he was a square, if he, but now you didn't put him in a situation where, and we don't know if other friends, family members been in that situation. Like, damn, man, I'm gonna die in this joint. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so the psychological damage of him being in from 2004 till he's exonerated, and whatever year he's exonerated and he get out, you got to look at that because now he gets out. There's no rehabilitative culture of prison in America. So now, me and you, we come to jail in the 90s. I come in 97. You came, what, 93, 94, right?
93.
93. So we get out in the next decade, the next century. We miss World Wide Web, internet, social media,
Y2K,
smartphones, right? All these things that's necessary today on not only entering the labor market, but you talking about somebody now who went from doing life to being free and then being handed $1 million. Because we're going to go into the 1.4 million too.
Right.
Right? So now the person looking at, oh, he got 1.4 million. One, he didn't get 1.4 million. You got federal tax, you got state tax,
Tax.
right? And you got lawyer compensation. So when you earn over anything over, I think $336,000 a year, right? You in the top. I'm in the top tax bracket. I'm not even making $1 million a year yet,
Right.
but just making over 330,000 a year after you do all your deductions, right? You
Right.
in the top tax bracket. So this guy get a one-time lump sum payment, 1.4 million. He
So
has to
one
pay
time, or his
taxes.
one time thing puts him, elevated him into this bracket that you educate.
Right. So now he got to give back to the federal government, the same federal government and the state government that, because the federal government funds the state corrections, right? They get funding from the federal government for certain things that they do. Then he got to give money right back to the state Internal Revenue Service, the same government that locked him up. So let's
So
say
what
all
would you
the
estimate that a person see? Because I don't even know if he was
I'm
supposed
gonna
to see
ask,
all.
we're gonna ask ChatGPT right now, how
Yeah.
much
All right.
taxes would someone pay from a
$4.1 million settlement.
4.1 million?
Yeah.
4.1 settlement in the state, because that's a Commonwealth state too,
Yep. Pennsylvania.
right?
Yeah. Matter of fact, I think we could still
Federal
ask the question that way, but he wasn't paid by the state. He was paid by the city of Philadelphia, they say.
by the city.
Yeah. I mean, and
It
I
still
know
gonna be
that you
taxed
know.
by the state.
Right.
But you're right,
Exactly.
you could reword that.
Right. But
Where the
still, you
city
still got to
could
pay the same taxes. I
you
mean,
still got to
a
pay the same
Baltimore
taxes.
resident pays Maryland state taxes and
Right,
federal taxes. So I believe that we correct.
right. You got to
Okay.
pay taxes.
Right. Yeah.
And
No matter.
in the top tax bracket.
Okay. Right.
This is my issue with people who talk about taxing the rich. Uh, First, you must don't plan on getting no money,
Mm-hmm.
because you ain't gonna like it when it's your time to pay, right?
Right. Right. Because if you got $10 and I got $1 and we both pay 30% of it, you
Right.
paying more money off of your $10 bill than I'm paying off of my $1 bill, right?
Now everybody speak, well, the corporations use a loophole, but a lot of time we're not a corporation when we get it.
Right.
We're like an LLC or athlete, you know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm. Or proprietor.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it says that Chat GBT going in. So it says federal, if the settlement is taxable income, it will place you into the highest federal tax bracket. The top marginal,
It's
the
yeah.
top marginal federal income tax rate is 37%. Assuming the entire 4.1 million is taxable and no significant deductions apply, federal tax liability could be around 1.517 thousand. 1,517,000. That's federal. Pennsylvania has a flat personal income tax of 3.07% on most types of taxable income. If fully taxable, the PA state tax will be $125,870. Right? So his entire tax bill is 1.642870. So 1,642,870. That's just that. Now we're not even breaking down the lawyers. The lawyer's gonna get damn near 5 or 10% of that, right? So you just keep chopping it down. So okay, let's just say after taxes and all of this, the lawyer fees, he has 2 million, right?
Right.
Unlike me, someone who studied the Wall Street Journal, out of the 22 years, I might have read it for maybe I started getting it in 2002, but I couldn't handle it. I stopped. I really picked it back up in 2009. Kind of stopped, and then I picked it back up. When I picked it back up in 2013, I never stopped. So
Right.
let's just say that out of the 22 years I read the Wall Street Journal, say that's like a strong 8 years, strong, every day. But I was studying investing in Lawton in 99 with the old man, Mr. Fowler.
Yeah.
So I dedicated my whole life to learning how to manage money.
Right.
I always felt that I would come home and get money, right?
Right.
And so I studied on how the ways you deduct money. So just to say this, brother, he didn't get the chance to do that.
Right.
So you're looking at someone that's dealing with the psychological trauma of being incarcerated for something he didn't do, right?
Right.
Then he get out and you hand him a couple of million and you feel like that's a lot of money that can help somebody. Now keep in mind, after federal, state tax, the lawyers, you know they got to hit all moms and them that might was holding them down, right? And then
Right.
you live in a say like in
Somebody
one,
did the 24 years with him.
and I'm looking at me now, just me now. I ain't
Right.
get the $4.1 million settlement, right? But just with the little bit that I make, everybody begging me for something.
Right.
Everybody in jail, right? Everybody in jail trying to me.
Right.
All the cousins that got kids that want to go on a trip, me. Everybody that fall behind on their car note, me. Right? Every chick that you meet that you think might like you that follow you on Instagram, my sister behind on the rent. I need a new tire for my car. You know, so what I realize is that people don't be prepared for the psychological pressure of being an African American, where the median household income for African American Washington D.C. is, I think they said like 11, like one report said like 1,700, and one said like, but they said like 80% of African Americans don't even have $3,000 in savings.
Right.
Right. So you're not even prepared for society. You've been incarcerated, psychologically going through that. They hand you some money. You think that's a fair compensation. You don't know how to handle the taxes. You don't know how to handle the pressure of people begging you. You don't know how to handle that desire that you had for women, that lust that you had for women, and now you got that lust, and now the woman know that you got a settlement.
Right.
Right? So now they don't even like you for who you are. They like you for what you can do for them. Right? So and you dealing with family, friends, you dealing with all this pressure, and then now you might blow your money. You might owe the IRS. You know what I'm saying? You might owe the state tax. I mean, this literally, if you look up the history of people that hit the lottery and the people in the NFL and the NBA, people who are not financially literate and disciplined, a large percentage of them file for bankruptcy within three years of retirement.
Right.
Right? Within 5 years of them hitting the lottery, they broke. On top of being incarcerated for something you didn't do. Right? So now here go this person allegedly owes you $1,200.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Right? You might have plead guilty because like, yeah, I did smash him, but it wasn't even about the 1,200. It
Right.
could have been about a chick. It could have, you never know what it was about. But
Oh, I ain't tell you that part of it. But before I say that, don't let me forget that. Are we sure that awarded money for wrongful conviction is taxable?
I'm not sure. Let's see what the AI say.
See what the AI say.
Is exoneration
Cause I mean, I'm just thinking.
settlement tax in the state of Pennsylvania and federal. That feds, they be wanting everything, man. That
Yeah.
thing ain't coming up under 501c3.
Hey, but you know, I got some inheritance money that wasn't taxable before.
How did it invade their state tax?
To be honest with you, I
You might
can't.
don't want to say that on camera, Playboy.
Nah,
You might be
uh.
cool now, the Republicans getting in there. But
Nah,
this
nah.
last
It
few
was
days of
addressed. It
Biden
was
and them,
addressed. I ain't gonna get into the specifics of it being addressed, but the way that it came, some
yeah.
type of way I saved. I got a family member that's an accountant, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I trusted their word in the beginning. I was just coming home, to be honest with you. I can talk about this part. They calculated it, and off the amount of money that I inherited at the time, they told me to save $17,000.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you could guess what the in between conversations was. However, when tax time came back around, she didn't trust her judgment on it, so she went to somebody that specialized in such, and I was able to keep the money.
Okay.
So probably, but in general, I was able to keep the 17,000 after I'd already invested the other money that came from my great uncle.
So this is what the chat GBT say.
All right.
No. Compensation for wrongful incarceration, exoneration settlement is generally not taxable at the federal or Pennsylvania state levels, thanks to
All right.
specific federal tax code provisions and the common state practice of federal exclusions. It said it's number one, it's called the federal tax treatment under the federal tax code, section 139F, added by the PATH Act of 2015, explicitly excludes from gross income any civil damages, restitution, or monetary award received due to a wrongful conviction. This
All right.
means that an individual who has been exonerated and received settlement for wrongful conviction does not have to pay federal taxes. Number two, Pennsylvania's personal income tax generally starts with federal taxable income as the baseline. Since the federal government excludes wrongful incarceration compensation from taxable income, this amount typically won't be included in Pennsylvania's taxable income either.
That's a
So
good
we
question.
got that.
All right. So that means that he had a influx of money that he definitely had to have some
All he had
financial
to hit off was the lawyers,
Yeah.
if he had to hit them off.
Yeah, because sometimes the lawyer fees is in it.
Right.
But
So
even still, he ain't paying no 30% of nothing to the lawyers, I wouldn't believe.
so how many years did he do?
24. The crime was committed in 90. He was convicted in 94. I
Let's see
don't know
how
what
much years. I'm going to divide that. Divide
4.1 million by 24. And what would he earn a year if he was in the free world at that rate?
Yeah. But for me, it's like, I know people look at it like, the mass media is a soundbite machine. It's not a it's not a machine for like that induces critical thinking. It's not like you read an article and it asks you questions and you get feedback and it tells you to form a thought group around it. It's just boom, big print, and you just automatically go with it. Oh, they caught the guy that killed the CEO. He ain't been to trial. He ain't even went to preliminary hearing yet. They found him with the gun. They ain't did no ballistics on the gun or nothing. It's just boom, and so that's why I'm fascinated with stories and the business of storytelling. Because whether this guy that they caught at the McDonald's is guilty or not, somebody's already thinking about monetizing his story. Now in New York, they got the Son of Sam law.
Right. And that
Right?
applies in other states as well. Some other states as well.
Right. So he's not going to be able to profit from him personally, but it'll
Directly.
be some people that'll figure out a way to loop it to a family member. They'll figure out a way for them to profit off the story.
I'm going to mention 3 situations. The Menendez guys,
Right.
Charles Manson, and O.J. Simpson. Now, they went back to find, let's call it hidden income for O.J. Simpson.
Right.
But a lot of that didn't have nothing to do with the Son of Sam law. Some of it did in California, but most of that pertained to them civil.
Right.
He was found civilly liable for causing the death, even though he was acquitted of the murders in criminal court in California.
Right.
OJ. But
So now,
all of them found a way to circumvent the funds.
So ChatGPT says $170,833.33 per year. So let me ask you this question. What percentage of
Somebody called
African.
that on a CIA type of crime, and somebody else just said in the comments that lawyers generally get 25 to 33% of the lawsuit cases. Although that's not a lawsuit, so I'm not sure if it would apply that way, but that's good information.
Yeah. Um. So 170,000 a year. So I'm asking ChatGPT, what percentage of African American men make that much money a year
In this country, right?
in this country? I say African American. So I'm
Okay.
hoping
Yeah,
the
it
AI
did. Yeah, right, right.
don't take me to Botswana or you. Cause I just watched the joint last night where they getting $2 an hour in Kenya to do the work on the AI.
Two
Now guess
dollars, two
now,
dollars like American dollars.
now let me ask you a question. I'm gonna ask everybody in the audience a question. What percentage of African American men make 170,000 a year? What's the percentage you say? What you think?
What percentages of African Americans make $180,000 a year?
170,000 a
One
year.
hundred and
Yeah.
seventy thousand dollars a year. I'm gonna just take a guess for the entertainment of what we saying. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I know that a lot of people are not in that bracket,
Mm-hmm.
but African American males. That's what we on, right?
Right.
All right. So let me just jump out there and take a
Because this is such an important question because everybody be thinking that you gotta have Jay-Z money to have some money, right?
right, right.
So this is a great question.
All right. Oh, okay. A couple people threw their guesses out there already. They're a little bit lower than mine. So I was gonna say something like I know it's extremely high, but I'm gonna still say something like 12 or 13. But I think I'm jumping out there. But let's see.
It said likely well under 2% of African American males earn around 170,000 per year or more.
All right. Shout out to my
Perfectly.
man Stories with V. He just said he need a painting from you too. Good man. He said 3%. He's the closest out of all.
Tell V to hit me on the gram. I'm more reachable on Instagram at Halim Flowers. HALIMFLOWERS.
So about 2 to 3%. That's what we going with, right?
It
According
says
to
data from the Census Bureau and other agencies indicate that households with incomes above 200,000 annually represent roughly the top 5% of all US households. Because these figures are for households often with multiple earners and not individual African American males, the percentage for a single African American male making 170,000 is substantially smaller. I ain't even lying. I done made like 160 in a day.
right,
I've done that before. I remember
right.
like I got 100 from the Ford Foundation. I was getting off the plane, and a brother Billy Allen from Death Row was calling me. We was doing some work with him, and I'm looking at the email. It's like we giving you 100,000. What the fuck is this, a scam? But I saw it was the people at the Ford Foundation that I know. I'm like, oh shit! And I just came from somewhere selling like $60,000 worth of paintings. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, damn. Even though the 100 came through like a week later, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, I've had days,
Right, right. I mean, legit
six-figure
days. Right,
days, right?
right.
And so, and it's so important to talk about it because we don't understand that us coming home after decades of incarceration, how big of a deal we are, bro. You see what I'm saying? So you got brothers looking at it like, oh man, I'm trying to get like Jay-Z. Jay-Z been out here. If you're making $100,000 a year, you're in probably the top goddamn 15, 10% of black men in America. You see what I'm saying?
Damn, damn, damn. So I done been in
So
the top 15.
you gotta understand your position.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, the money, it never mean anything to me. So it's not a source of ego inflation, like, oh, I made this, I got this, I got, because I only make money to take care of other people. Yeah, I ain't got no watches, no rings, but I like investing in people because if I ever do need something, I know that I invested in my people. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not caught up with looking at my bank account because I could be way more liquid than I am. But I just take care of so many people. Homies that got killed, their kids, you know what I'm saying? Like dudes in prison,
True.
you know, like but that's my personality type. I don't mind if I don't believe that anybody owes anybody anything. I don't believe that. That's not my philosophy. If you make it, you get in that top 1 or 2% of African American males, you making 5 million a year. Maybe you making just $250,000 a year. If for African American men, if you're making over 170, you in the top, according to ChatGPT.
Top 15? What is that?
No, you in the top goddamn 98%. It's under only, it said likely under 2%. It said in America, it got away from black men. It said in America, according to Census Bureau data, which is public, only 5 to 7% of households, that means everybody in the house, make incomes above 200,000 annually. Right. So if you making that on your own, if you make over 250,000 a year for 2 years consecutively, you are technically an accredited investor. That allows you to invest in hedge funds, private equity. That's a whole nother conversation. I don't even want to go there. But they put him in a position where he was in the top 98%. Right? He was in the top 2% of African American men. But it's other things that's needed for a human being to live successfully in America after 24 years of incarceration than money. Money can become more of a problem than not having money. Yeah. Money can make you a target more than not have. When you come home, you don't have enough. People don't even want to accept your call. Oh, that nigga begging for something. He looking for somewhere to stay, this and that. Now you got this money in the city of Philadelphia. We can just go into the statistics of the city of Philadelphia, the poverty rate of African Americans there, the abandoned homes, and you know what I'm saying? So if I'm not making excuses for, I'm just looking at the business of it. So somebody look at, man, he killed somebody over $1,200. It could not even have been about that. It just could have been him dealing with the stress of coping as a black man in America who was completely probably abandoned by his community, his family and friends for those 24 years. And then now everybody is on his line.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
I mean,
you
it's
gotta
funny you
manage.
mentioned earlier when you was talking, you say, hey, we don't know if this true or that's not true. It could have been about this, could have been about that. And as most people like us that have been through things, you said it could have been a woman. So I forgot to tell you this part. There was a woman, allegedly.
What's up,
I'm gonna
Jamal?
use the word allegedly just because we talk like that, but she testified or made a statement against him. Now he did plead guilty, but she made some type of statement saying that she was there when the homicide occurred and that he told her he was freaking out after he did it, saying, this is my third homicide. I can't go back to jail and you better keep your mouth shut. That was a part of his case. So a woman, whether it's true or false, was involved.
I got to tap out. I got an AI call at 12:30, man. Let's do this again.
All right, salam alaikum, man. Hit me later
I
on,
hope,
man. We got to get on that game.
I hope the people, man, learn something about the business, man.
All right, man. Appreciate you, man. Hit you later on, bro.
And let me hold 100,000. I know you got about 1 million on that YouTube revenue, man. Let me hold
send it to you in crypto. Out of here, man. What's up? What's up? What's up? Hey, so yeah, man. Well, I guess I learned he ain't had to pay no taxes on that 4.1 million. So, man, I wonder how that's going to affect the situation now. Like, do the people of the family, do the people that's the family members of the victim, like, do they chase the millions of dollars if there's any other money left? Like, ain't no telling how much money a person can blow through in the time that they came home. I believe he came home maybe 19 or something. What's up, Huck? Huck said we were super predators. What it do? Juwan, what's up? You ain't seen that video I sent you. Yeah, I did. I've been a little bit busy. I watch all them jumps. Sometimes I just forget. I got a little busy. I ain't respond back. Y'all good men, drop a jewel. Shout out to my man Stories with V. Appreciate the love, homie. Damn, it's 12:30, man. I gotta Zoom at 1 o'clock myself too. Hey, Hug, you see old barbecue boy was on here. He wants some attention. Great look over at Banky Pound. Shout out to Banky Pound, y'all. Go follow, go subscribe to Stories with V. Shout out to Baltimore. And make sure y'all go rock out with my man Banky Pound, man. Shout out to Banky Pound. Good brother, man. That's my homie. He did 33 years in Virginia, Department of Corrections. Been to all them joints. Mecklenburg, Wildlands, Red, Sussex. He been to all them joints, man. Vicious joints. Okay, Rob. Yeah, Halim, he different. He been different since we was young. For him to have done 20, yeah, he done like 22 to be exact, and didn't come home bitter, but better is an amazing story of strength. Shout out to V. Yeah, I agree with you, Juwan. My God, salute. You know what it is. I appreciate the love, man. It's rare that you find a good dude anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Baltimore Mike, what's up? Stories with V, Banky with the Bethlehem. Banky with the Bethlehem. Banky stay talking about that Bethlehem. That's how you know he old school. Brother's Place, Rob. Oh yeah. It's cool. He say smashing the like button, man. I appreciate the love, man. I ain't doing nothing but cooling while this video upload. Hey V, when we gonna do something, man? We could do a live over there on your joint. What's up? Or you at the other occupation right now? So what y'all think about the dude they locked up for the matter of fact, AV, you should do a story on the dude. His name is Luigi Maggiano, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but he was born and raised in Maryland. If I'm not mistaken, Baltimore County. Was educated in top schools out there. Went to some Ivy League schools, highly educated, spent some time in Hawaii. I don't even know what they're alleging this whole thing that he hit the CEO for, if he really did it. You ready today? I mean, I can end this joint right now. You can send me a joint. Let's hop on your joint for a few minutes before I get busy. I got a minute until like 1 o'clock. Baba Son TV came over here. Baba Son TV wants some attention. Go check out Baba Son TV too, man. At least he ain't no rat like his brothers. That gene skipped him so far. Oh, you was already on that story. You supposed to be on that story. That story closer to you than me, but I cover Maryland. Maryland is right around the corner from me. I've lived in Maryland. You know what I mean? You can't claim no exclusivity to Maryland because you from Baltimore, V. Somebody said, yeah, he was very educated and his family is big in that community. Oh, I didn't know that. Shout out to Johnny Evans. Saeed Abdul Shakur. Salam alaikum, big homie. Shout out to my man, Abdul Shakur. Seems like he had back issues. Oh, that's what I love, man. Having people around us intelligent. Abdul Shakur said it seemed like he had back issues. So if he had some back issues, then he could have had a legitimate beef or grievance with the healthcare industry, then, right? What you laughing at, Huck? Man, you know, there's 1,000 comments coming. I be missing it sometimes. If you confess with your mouth, what? Oh, you on something else? No one can guard him. Gary Payton couldn't guard Kyrie in his prime. Let me get back to V. Iron sharpen iron. Facts. We got to do all the stories, even if someone else already told them. They ain't tell them like we do. DC to Baltimore. Yeah, I mean, looking at it from that perspective, then that means that if anybody cover it and then we cover it, we're gonna give a unique perspective. I mean, then dudes like me and you, we don't just talk and repeat. We go and research and cross reference. Those are like for real, like we not pseudo journalists just because we come from the hood and we've been involved in the justice system and boom, we click on YouTube and we can run our mouth. Nah, we real journalists, bro. Somebody said, hold on, France in the building. Shout out to France. All right, so since the 50s, family got big in real estate. Family name on several pools in the area. Man, somebody dropping some facts. Some research. Gary Payton had lockdown defense. Right. I ain't no big sports expert like my man, so I was just asking it. I wasn't throwing it out the challenge. Well, Gary Payton, they call him the glove, bro. Could he check Kyrie? Could he guard Kyrie, as you said? I don't know if the Lakers gonna win a ring this year, but as long as LeBron there, I'm a Lakers fan. Hey V, how you feel about the old heads in your town? I see every time barbecue come over here, he keep wanting to say, "All you old heads broke, all you old heads broke." Oh man, I gotta take care of something real quick. Gary Payton couldn't even guard Mike. He not guarding Kyrie Irving. Bruh, that you trying to start something. Mike and Kyrie Irving, two totally different people. Real talk. And I give my supporters the real look at the stories from a street aspect. Only rules I got is I say no names or hoods. That's just man time. And from there, you build your fan base even bigger. Yeah, because they're going to understand what type of integrity you have. So LeBron leaves, I leave. Yeah, because I never really had a basketball team. So to explain that, I don't want you to just think that if LeBron leaves, that I leave. I mean, I've been liking LA for that amount of time that he been there, but I never had a real basketball team. Like when I was a kid, I had a football team, and then I was a Michael Jordan fan. So boom, at that point in time, I was a Chicago Bulls fan. Mike left. I had no team. I still like basketball. I was an Allen Iverson fan. So therefore I was a Philly fan until Allen Iverson left. And then I was a Denver Nugget fan for a minute. When Allen Iverson went to Memphis, if I ain't mistaken, I really wasn't tripping off of that. But by that time I was probably a Cleveland Cavaliers fan because LeBron was there. Then I became a Miami Heat fan because LeBron was there. And then I became a Cleveland Cavaliers fan again for a minute because LeBron was there. Then LeBron went to LA, and then I became an LA fan. So LeBron is at the end of his LA thing, and I think it's going to be time for me to have some other team that I probably like as much as I like that team. And I don't know who that's going to be at this point in time. But when LeBron leaves, I'm not. I mean, I will still watch basketball, but I'm not going to be a Laker fan. I probably won't have no Laker hat or nothing like that. What you mean by that? What you saying by what you mean like Kyrie Irving got more shots in his arsenal? I ain't understanding what you mean about that lingo. Kobe was the GOAT. True Laker dropped 81 points. That's a fact. But I wasn't a Laker fan at the time, and I like Kobe. I like Kobe, but I didn't like Kobe enough to root for him. Like I actually, well, I did root for Kobe in that one that they lost to Boston for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe because he had made me believe, and then he pissed me off that they lost that one. Even Kobe say that's the one they got away. Kyrie Irving ISO moves is way more versatile than Michael Jordan. Y'all hear what he said? This is coming from the biggest Michael Jordan fan there is. The players Gary Payton guarded in the 90s didn't have the type of handles these youngins have. That might be a good point. The players that GP guarded might not have had the handle, but they were professionals, and he was one of the top defenders in the league. Kyrie got he got different worldly handles. Hey V, I'm working on a book right now. It's already done. I'm editing it. I am editing it. I just saw something. Oh no, I think that might be right. Oh, no, that's right. Yeah, I'm almost finished editing this one. I gotta kind of like bring it up to date, but I'm about to get out of here, man. Hey V, give me a second. I just got I got an email about something I gotta correct on my website. So you can understand Kyrie Irving handles his footwork, his ability to shoot left and right, his IQ, lateral and shiftiness is much different. Man, but I just can't imagine we making a conversation or even having a debate that because I just can't have no debate with you saying that Michael Jordan and Kyrie Irving in a conversation about somebody guarding one or the other. I mean, Kyrie Irving is never going to be considered the greatest by anybody, as great as he is, right? He's not even in the greatest conversation, right? Michael Jordan had more fundamentals, though. All right, cool. But Kyrie Irving even in a conversation or a debate as being the greatest basketball player ever? Let's start there. Hey man, Cavario up in that jump with no neck. I don't know what they call themselves doing. He better stop playing. He keep running around perpetrating like he started Don Diva, man. That's a joke. Don't believe that Cavario started no Don Diva. He may have been there helping out Sue and Tiffany in the beginning, but Don Diva magazine was not Don Diva magazine, bro. I would take AI over Kyrie. I would take AI over Kyrie too. No. Somebody said I would take AI, but is Kyrie Irving even in the talks as the greatest player ever? You said, man, GP couldn't guard MJ, so he can't guard Kyrie. In my mind, I was like, how was that a comparison, man? Who could guard MJ? All right, cool. That's as far as I can go. Like, I don't really have a whole lot of debate points. I don't have a whole lot of debate points in between, but just as a journalist and a dude that understands law, like to get to the fact, even for people who don't consider Mike the greatest, like people be having arguments if this person the greatest or what is the greatest. Because I mean, where does Bill Russell stand in basketball, Juwan? Since you want to talk sports for a hot second, let me ask you, where does Bill Russell stand at in basketball? What makes Mike the greatest ever? I consider Ali the greatest ever. He said he was, but what makes Ali the greatest ever? No disrespect to Ali, I consider him the greatest ever. But what about Rocky Marciano? What about? I mean, I'm only talking about him about the record. What about Sugar Ray Robinson? What about Joe Louis? Kyrie Irving, top 10 point guards. All right, cool. Joe Dumas defended Jordan the best. What y'all think about that? I can't dispute that one. Joe Dumas did a good job. Joe Dumas was tough too, though. Not to say that Mike wasn't tough. I think Detroit got Mike and them ready for greatness. LeBron James on the ISO can guard Mike. That's an opinion. We ain't gonna see that, right? Mike, I mean, he big enough on the ISO he could guard Mike. Mike will have to use screens and off-ball movements to get the better of LeBron. Kyrie not even in the GOAT conversation, but Steph Curry is in the GOAT combo. Nah. Now for me, now let me tell you why. I ain't hating on Steph. Steph may be the best shooter ever. He's definitely the best three-point shooter ever, but I can't put him in no category of being the best ever. He only had 8 teams with Russell play. I never heard nobody make that point. I guess that's a good point, right, Joel? Mo Better said, man, they only had 8 teams when Russell played. Muhammad Ali would have lost a lot versus today's bigger heavyweights. Like who? Muhammad Ali would have beat the brakes off Tyson Fury. At least Tyson Fury of today, the big one. Man, Muhammad Ali would have beat the brakes off Tyson Fury at any point in his career, I believe. Michael Jordan even said that himself, that Joe Dumas was one of his best defenders. I heard that myself. Well, what's up, Turk? LeBron ain't the best. I ain't say he was the best. Steph Handle is not like Kyrie. No, but Steph Handle is sneaky wicked, though. I said in the conversation, it's not the best ever. I don't think he's even in the conversation. Do anybody think Steph Curry is in the conversation for the best ever? What's up? What's up? Salute. Muhammad Ali lost to lesser men than Fury or Lennox. Okay. I feel you on that. I ain't got Tyson Fury. I don't think nobody would bet that, though. I don't think nobody agreed that Tyson Fury would have whooped Muhammad Ali. What you think would have happened to Tyson Fury? He was able to get in the ring with George Foreman. George Foreman might have ended Tyson Fury's career, bro. Especially the 20-some-year-old George Foreman, like 24-year-old George Foreman. Bill Russell, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Tim Duncan, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Steph Curry, and Magic Johnson. What those are your arguments for the greatest ever? Oh, are the GOATs. Okay, I got you. Joe Louis was 5'11" and only had a left hook and still whoop Ali. Well, you right. And he only had a left hook. Uh, I ain't gonna debate it because he could fight, but he had a special left hook, and he knocked Muhammad Ali out. Muhammad Ali avenged it, but statistically, Muhammad Ali was suspect for a left hook his whole career. Is the worst punch that he ever faced. So for him to fight a fighter that had one of the best left hooks ever, would y'all agree? and Joe Lewis. I mean Joe Frazier. You saying Joe Lewis, bro? You talking about Joe Frazier? Joe Lewis never fought Muhammad Ali. I'm assuming you meant to say Joe Frazier. So don't get me wrong. I'm talking about Joe Frazier because Joe Lewis. You say Joe Lewis was 5'11" and only had a left hook and still whoop Ali. No, you talking about Joe Frazier, bro. You gotta be. Ali way too skilled for Fury. Joe Lewis left his chin wide open half of the time. I only seen a few Joe Lewis fights. Most times I seen Joe Lewis fight, they was highlights. I knew you meant Joe Frazier, so you see I ain't act stupid about that. Like I said, man, I know he talking about the left hook and Ali. He talking about Frazier, not Lewis. Yeah, let me tell you why about Steph Curry though. Go ahead, Buster Douglas smash. Yeah, Buster Douglas won that fight, but how many people remember that Mike Tyson Buster Douglas fight? Am I the only person to believe that Mike Tyson, when he dropped Buster Douglas, that Buster Douglas was down for 10 seconds? I think Mike Tyson knocked Buster Douglas out. I think the ref gave him a long count. Banky Pound would knock them all out. Banky Pound a heavyweight too. You think he would have knocked Mike Tyson out, the baddest man on the planet? You think he would have knocked the baddest man on the planet out? He was down for 15 seconds. Who? Buster Douglas? Oh, so somebody else did see that. I thought Buster Douglas was down for 13 or 14 seconds. I did. I thought the fight was over. I mean, I was a youngin' there, but I thought he was down for about 13 or 14 seconds. He said he was down for 15 seconds. Am I the only person that think that Buster Douglas was down for more than 10 seconds when he dropped? But he got up and put that man boom, bang, boom down. I ain't gonna give him that. You can't take that part away. Nah. So you saying it was rigged? Buster Douglas went and gave the belt right away. Who he went to get the belt to? Michael Moore? Larry Holmes might have had the best jab by the big boys. I mean, Ali had a great jab, but Larry Holmes might have had the most. I seen fights with Larry Holmes whoop the dude with just the jab for multiple rounds. Put this coffee in the microwave. But I think that's a good argument. Larry Holmes had the best jab. If he didn't have the best jab, who had one better though? After he knocked Mike out, you didn't hear anything about Buster Douglas no more. I was trying to throw that away. Oh, Holyfield took the title from Buster Douglas? I forgot. I was thinking that after I said it too. Shout out to India. What it do? Yeah, I was thinking that too when I said, man, so how Michael Moore got the belt? Because George Foreman punished him. Steph Curry. Oh, Steph Curry, hold on. Steph Curry is the leader of his team playing against tougher teams. He won 4 championships and he has a Hall of Fame career. Nobody can stop him. I can't disagree with that, but I remember when Steph Curry didn't have Klay Thompson and Draymond Green, and like he was shooting the ball good and they couldn't do nothing. Moore beat Holyfield. Okay. Brett Cooper is who he got the belt from. Who got the belt from Brett Cooper? Michael Moore? Because I sure ain't know that. I was in prison, so I missed some fights back then. I had to read it in the paper. Hey, you know what I find funny? Where my man at? Jawan, you ain't peeping. You ain't see Bob and son come on here talking about all you broke ass old heads. And Halim said, "Oh, I made $100,000 in a day." He can't. He's so small minded. He can't comprehend or conceive a dude selling artwork for $30,000, $40,000, $60,000. He come on here joking and playing, talking about all you old heads in the city broke. Just like when he was over there talking about me, talking about, bruh, you ain't selling nothing but $15 books. You know how many times I sell $15 books? You know how many $15 books I got for sale? Then he said, all you old heads broke because he can't conceive a concept of making money outside of telling jokes and lies on YouTube. He knows nobody that legitimately makes money. He said something about your heads being broke. Halim didn't even read the comment, didn't even respond. This is the process of talking about taxes and different tax breaks, things he don't comprehend. He gonna owe the IRS $100,000 a day later on because he don't comprehend nothing about taxes. He can't tell you where to find a 501c3 code. He don't know what a nonprofit is, bro. I don't even respond to Shawty no more. I only respond to Shawty if I feel like watching like funny home videos or something. Can't talk to me about nothing. He ain't had no more than $15 before there was a YouTube, bro. Now there's a YouTube. He want to pretend like he getting a bunch of money. His lifestyle is not indicative of a person that's getting a bunch of money. He a cold-blooded liar. Look, he rented a house when he was with the other girl, painted the wall. Then want to tell everybody, oh, I didn't leave. Bro, you don't leave a house that you bought that much. He's a liar. He ain't never owned no house. So tell him I said that. What you laughing at, Jawan? Abdul Shakur Eon Wale Salon just checked with Top Flight Baltimore attorney, and he said 33% if no suit filed and 40% if suit filed. Shukran, I appreciate you even giving me that information, Abdul Shakur. So that would apply to like a person that gets awarded that money for wrongful conviction. Turk, what's up? When it comes to these athletes are the greatest talk, I can only talk about people that I've seen in my own eyes, and Mike was the baddest that I saw, followed behind Kobe and LeBron. Turk, we are the same generation. I agree with you. Melo Ball will be as good as Steph. Whoa, I don't know about that. I think Steph is unique. I don't think we're gonna see another Steph. We may see somebody to do all of it together, but Steph is unique, bro. And they got a Harborside Hotel commercial on TV now. How you know that? That's what I asked about wrongful conviction compensation. Okay, Abdul Shakur, then you basically addressed exactly what I was wondering. So going back to your comment when you said 160. Jawan corrected me. I just said 100 some thousand because I couldn't remember the exact number. He said, nah, Halim said he made $160,000 in that day. Tell Aunt Glizzy that. Since we only talking to broke old heads over here, man. Can't anybody gonna talk no money to you, bro. You only seen YouTube money. You ain't heard it no money. You ain't made no money. You ain't never had a W-2. Stop playing, bro. You a little boy. What's up, cuz? Oh, Carolina checking in. Shout out to Carolina. I ain't even see that whole ball as well. We just waiting for you to be interviewed, brother. We want to hear you tell your story. Salute. I ain't no 7-Eleven been around since 1964. I never even looked at that cup. Michael Jordan, mid-range game and fundamental was more dangerous on the Wizards. Nah. 97, 98 with the Bulls, bro. He ain't do nothing but that with the Wizards, so I ain't gonna agree with that one. Look at his numbers already. Oh. Gotta go, y'all. It's 1 o'clock, man. Appreciate the love, free the real. You know what the business is.